Hello, this is Stephen in wonderful Wiltshire. It's 4 p.m. in the UK, it's 11 a.m. on the east coast of the United States, and 8 a.m. on the Pacific coast. We are going live today on Amazon Live. I'm just setting up, which is why I've got the clock, because I'm waiting for the signal to go through to Amazon Live. Well, first of all, to restream, and then to Amazon Live. I'm waiting for a green signal from OneStream. Okay, I've got a problem again. I'm going to try again to log in, and I'll report this after the broadcast, but we've got a slight delay, and we're not going to make it in time. So I'm going to leave the clock there, and we're over on OneStream, and new real-time stream. Yes, real time. Okay, sometimes things work straight away, sometimes they don't. Should have a signal coming through, and I'm going to go live on Amazon Live. Okay, hopefully this will be second time lucky. It is. So I'm going to preview on Amazon Live and wait for it to go live on Amazon Live, which you should do shortly. The signals, these, yeah. Okay, so the one thing that you can rely on, hello, by the way, one thing you can rely on, this is live broadcasting, and everything is not going to go swimmingly. Yeah. So what you've got to be able to do is to, well, first of all, don't panic if anything goes wrong. Stay calm and just retrace your steps and do everything you can to get the broadcast live. So we are on Amazon Live now. We're also live today on YouTube, on Facebook, and on Twitch. So if you're watching on those platforms, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please do say hello. I can see your comments in the studio, and I will display them on screen. So you are watching me, and this is me, Stephen Healey, as it says down there. Okay. So just waiting for Amazon Live to catch up. So just a second, because we're sort of about 30 seconds out because of what we had to do to refresh a page. I mean, there's nothing super technical to do. Things go wrong. It's just a question of starting again from a particular point. And the broadcast is going out to Amazon Live, and I'm just waiting for confirmation, and then we can get underway. If you've got any questions at all about any aspect of live broadcasting whilst I'm live, then please do ask, and I will do my best to actually answer. Okay, if you see me looking at something, then I'm looking at my iPad, and I use my iPad to actually control the broadcast. If you're watching Amazon Live, welcome and thank you. You're watching Stephen Healey, and with today, well, I can tell you what we're talking about today. If I go here, and no, not here. Okay, do you ever get the feeling it's going to be one of those days? Okay, your host is Stephen Healey from England. We're talking about webcams in a moment. Logitech C920X is the first webcam we'll actually talk about. Thank you for watching, and if you are watching but you can't hear me, then please do unmute. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that on the screen from time to time so that you know what we're talking about, and I can edit this, so I can change that to the Bria, I can change anything in that, but I'm going to take it off screen now, so it's back to me. Right, okay. In the UK at the moment, it's about 18 degrees. Alexa, what is 18 degrees in Fahrenheit?
18 degrees Celsius is 64.4 degrees Fahrenheit.
There you have it from Alexa, 64.4 degrees. Alexa, the Echo Dot is down in the carousel, the latest version of the Echo Dot, and we'll be talking to Alexa during this live broadcast. On to Amazon Live, and we're also live.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm going to have to stop mentioning her name, or I'm going to spell it. Okay, we can't have Alexa interrupting the broadcast. Live on Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching live on Facebook and YouTube, thank you. The link to join everybody on Amazon Live is up above. And without further ado, I'm going to go off full screen and give you a guided tour of what we're going to be doing today. First of all, I've got two cameras, and my second camera is pointed down at my demonstration area, and my second camera is the Obspot Tiny, which is down in the carousel. Okay, so we'll be talking about the Obspot Tiny during this broadcast. Take it off full screen. It is live. That's me, by the way. Okay, so that's definitely live. Items in the carousel: TP-Link Deco, which is Wi-Fi system, which I'm broadcasting on today. Angelica is teaching German at the same time, so it handles everything. Down there is the Anchor four-way USB hub, and through that four-way USB hub there, I've got connected two cameras, one microphone, and the Logitech Litra light, and you're going to meet the light in a moment. I inherited this Echo Dot. We've now got 4 Echo Dots. Angelica's got the new one, but I'm quite happy to have any Echo Dot because I can ask questions during the live broadcast, and as you'll see, Alexa will answer quite knowledgeably. Great knowledge base behind Alexa. We'll be looking at Aftershok's earbuds and also at the Tread Lab HD 77 speakers. Now, if you can't see anything clearly at the moment, I will switch the lights on in a moment. Okay, so that's my second camera. So I'm in my live studio. I have two cameras and I can switch between them. The other thing we're going to be looking at and explaining is background removal software. And I'm going to explain exactly how background removal software works. Expert VCam is the system I'm going to be explaining. And one of the cameras today comes with a 3-month license to Expert VCam, which is why it's there. Okay, if I go here, this is lights, camera, action, webcams, microphones, audio gear, live video, and Fitbits. That's the action part of it. Okay, we're going to be talking about Fitbits and the benefits of having a Fitbit and why that actually just wearing a Fitbit like this one, which is the HR Inspire 2, which is down the carousel, why actually wearing a Fitbit is the start of a fitness journey. And basically, when you buy a Fitbit, everything I'm going to show you during this live broadcast is free. All the added extras. This is the start of an ecosystem. This is the start of keeping fit in 2022. And that's a great present, great gift to actually give people. So back, and next we're going to be talking about, or next up in actual fact, is the Logitech Litra Glow Light. And that is Daniel Sigmund of Logitech. And I saw him on Marco Novo's show. Marco is a good friend of mine. And I saw this light, and I'll explain in a moment why I bought 2 of them and why you should buy at least 1 of them. Okay, and the thing is that I'm one of 4 Englishmen actually broadcasting on Amazon Live. I was asked the other day, how come we've got English people on Amazon.com? The simple answer is that we applied. We have social media following. We broadcast live. We've been broadcasting, most of us, for about 5 or 6 years. So Amazon said, yes, you can broadcast on Amazon Live. We went through the qualifying process and we're on Amazon Live. In fact, I know broadcasters from Portugal, from South Africa and Australia who are on Amazon.com. Finally, before we go and go through a walk through the products, a little bit about where I live. I live in Devizes. Best spell that because most folk in the UK can't actually spell Devizes. So you'll be able to spell Devizes now. Okay. Devizes comes from a Latin, ad Devizes, which is at the crossroads. And Devizes was on the coaching route, even in Roman days, when chariots ran through. It is a crossroads. And it's in the centre of Wiltshire, geographical centre of Wiltshire. Wiltshire is home to many things, including this place. And this is Stonehenge. Now, we are very fortunate. We live, Angelica, my partner, and I live about 30 minutes away from Stonehenge, and we're able to visit 4 or 5 times a year. If you're thinking of coming to the UK, then please do add Stonehenge to your bucket list. And the next photograph is of our local parks. Now, we have a wonderful local parks department, and they look after, this is Hillworth Park. And Hillworth Park has tennis courts, it's got 3 children's playgrounds, 2 tennis courts, and it's the home in summer of outdoor cinema and also concerts. This is our shopping centre. Now, it's not a mall, can't be called a mall. This is the Britox, Britox, and this is our main shopping centre in Devizes. And I was there early in the morning and took this shot. And then this is on the top right-hand corner, you can see a cream building, which is the town hall. And then these are buildings which are flats and houses, and they are preserved. They've got blue plaques on them. And just before you get here is St. John's Church. Now, St. John's Church is a working church, and you can actually climb up to the top of the tower if you wish and have a guided tour of the tower. Otherwise, you can go to services at the weekend and during the week. And we also have music concerts and amateur dramatics taking place in the church. So dual usage of a church. This is just around the corner from me. This is the Cranmer in Devizes man-made lake, and behind that you can see the spire. Possibly, if you on the left-hand side, if you peer through the trees, you can see the spire of St. James's Church, our local church, and the wildfowl from all over flying to Devizes, and it's a busy place, and you can just sit down in the calm and quietness and relax watching the local wildfowl. If you want something busier, then you can go into the Market Square, and the Market Square has a charter granted by the King to hold a market every Thursday, and there are additional markets as well throughout the year. And then we're going to come full circle in a minute. This is the Courts Garden. This is basically near to Devizes. It's a National Trust property, which means it's looked after by a National Trust. And in addition to that, it used to be an industrial site. So the factory was demolished and it was turned into a country garden. And it's a very typical English country garden. All the photographs that you're actually looking at now are photographs that I took, and they are from my favorite photographs. Okay, and there we go. It does snow in Devizes, but only occasionally. So we'll flick through that one and come on to the next one. We have street festivals every year, and groups come from all around the country to take part in a procession through the town, which ends with a confetti battle, which I might come back to. And then this was the weekend just gone. This is a place called the Courts Garden. We saw a fireball minutes ago, but that is the Courts Garden, and it's just a beautiful place to walk around and visit. And we're so fortunate to actually be able to do that. So I'm in Devizes in England. The question is, where are you? Okay, if you want to say hello, please say hello and tell me where you're from. Okay, easy as that, and we can get a conversation going, and I can read out your comments. Now, I am, along with hundreds, if not thousands, of live broadcasters on Amazon Live, I'm independent. Okay, I don't work for Amazon. I've been granted permission to actually broadcast on Amazon Live, which I do Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK, and talk about what I enjoy talking about, which is live video. And I'm fortunate to have been involved in live video even before Facebook Live. So if you've got any questions about any aspect of live video, do ask in the comments. And now we're going to start. I'm just going to tidy up a little bit. So you know I've got the second camera, so I'm going to switch that off for the moment, switch it back on later. I'm going to be talking about background removal software. You know this is Lights, Camera, Action. And you've seen the beautiful gardens in Wiltshire. So let's get down to business. And I was watching a broadcast by Marco Novo. Marco, obviously, is on Amazon Live. He broadcasts from Portugal. And he had as his guest Daniel Sigmund of Logitech. Alexa, who are Logitech?
According to Wikipedia, Logitech International SA is a Swiss manufacturer of computer peripherals and software, with headquarters in Lausanne, Switzerland, and Newark, California. The company has offices throughout Europe, Asia, Oceania, and the Americas, and is one of the world's leading manufacturers of input and interface devices for personal computers and other digital products.
Thank you, Alexa. I couldn't have memorized all that. So that's one of the reasons why I've got Alexa involved in the broadcast. So if we come up with anything, I can actually ask questions and get them answered. Okay, the Echo Dot is down the carousel. And if you're interested in the Echo Dot, then click the link in the carousel and that will take you off to the Echo Dot page and you can find out more. Very handy though. Okay, this is the Logitech Litra Lite that Daniel was holding. Well, not the exact. Okay, now you notice it's a bit dark in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my light on. Okay, so you can see me better now. You might have thought it was a bit dark earlier, but now we've got the lighting on. I'm lit by a Logitech Litra Lite. And basically, when you get the light, there is cellophane around there, cellophane around the bottom. Take those off and recycle them, and that's the unboxing part of it. Once you've got the light, you just lift the shelf up and it then goes over the back of your monitor or your PC or Mac, and that provides a very solid place to actually place this. Now, in terms of the light itself, it is very, very flexible. We can extend the light like so, or bring it back down again. We can twist it to the left and to the right. Okay. My light is like that and like that. So it's on my monitor, my BenQ monitor, which is down the carousel, and the light is pointing down at me. Okay. Simple and straightforward arrangement. Now, when you have got the light, the first thing you need to do is to plug in the USB-C cable, which is actually supplied with the light. So this cable comes with the light. There is no need to hunt for a cable. There's one in the box. And talking of the box, this is the box that the Logitech Litra Lite comes in, and it's got orange packaging. It's very distinguished, and I love orange packaging. I don't know, obviously it's just a color thing, but I like orange packaging. That's the box it comes in, and you just take it out of the box, take the cellophane off, and plug one end of the cable in here and the other end into your PC or Mac. Okay. Now, in terms of operating the light, on the back, you'll see that you have a button in the middle. And if I press that button now, the light will come on. So now I'm being lit from above and I'm being lit from the side. Okay. I only actually need one light. I've got this one, so I can actually show it to you. It's great because you can adjust the brightness, you can adjust the color temperature. And I'm just going to go through some of the features. Now, what I've done so that I don't actually miss anything is I've got an agenda at the side of me. I've got an agenda for each item that's in the carousel that I'm going to be talking about. And I'm going to, I call this the Logitech Litra Glow, but its official title is the Logitech Litra Glow Premium LED Streaming Light. Now, this is $59.99. Now, backstory to this, I used to have two softboxes, one either side of me, light shining on the wall and bouncing back, and I was well lit, and that worked well for 3 years until the fabric started to go. And Angelica said, it's looking a bit messy. Angelica's my partner, and I said, yes, it is. She said, shall we take it to the recycling center? So I dismantled the soft lights. We took them to the recycling center. They've gone. For 3 weeks, I broadcast without lights. I was like this. Okay, switch the light off. I had no lighting, and sorry, I had no lighting, and I just broadcast like this. Now, in terms of broadcasting, cameras important. We're going to look at 2 cameras, 3 cameras. Talk about 4, but look at 3. We're going to talk about microphones, but lighting is important too. And you'll notice that as soon as I switch this light back on, you can see me more clearly. This is, as far as I'm concerned, I looked at the others and they're asking for $200, $59.99 to me is it's a good price. It has true soft light, so it's a soft light, and I'll explain more in a moment. It's got just one monitor mount. Now we've seen that you can go up, you can go back down, you can twist to left or to right, but if that's not enough, what you can do is you can take your trusty tripod, you can take the light off here and put it on the tripod. Now, the benefit of doing that, he said, swapping hands almost deftly, is that this can be positioned anywhere in the desking. So at the moment, I'm using this stand, and the light is above me on my BenQ monitor next to my Bria camera, and it's shining light down on me, and it's like that. But I could just twist the light and then put it onto a mount, and then I could put the lighting anywhere along my desking area. So it's very, very flexible, as they've just said. Okay. On the back, I've said there are brightness and temperature controls. And in addition to that, it's got a desktop app, which I'm going to show you in a moment. And basically, if I had to control my light by just reaching over, that's not good. That's rude. So we can control it with software. Now, this is the thing. When I had my soft boxes, there was a switch which went on and off, and it was bright white light, whereas the Logitech Litra light has natural skin tones and radiant look. Now, if I now went and looked in the mirror, you've got a pretty close representation of what I look like normally. Okay, and that's what you're aiming for in the broadcasting. Now, the other thing is that Logitech are well known for a product called Logitech G Hub and looking after gamers. And in designing this light, they designed it so you can actually stream all day using it. Now, yeah, I know sometimes it feels like I stream all day, but I don't. But gamers typically will stream for 8 to 10 hours at a time. This light is totally safe for longer broadcasts. Certainly for a Zoom meeting or a Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Freedom of light placement, we said you can put it on a tripod stand, you can move it anywhere about. And you can use Logitech's free G Hub desktop app. Now, as I said, Logitech are well known for the cameras. C920, 922, 925, 930, and the Bria, which we're going to be looking at shortly. But this is the first light they've produced. This light was released in January this year, January 2022, which is possibly why you've not seen it before. But I was so taken with it when I saw it on the broadcast with Marco that I decided when I saw this broadcast that I had to have one. Okay, and for the price of $59.99 to actually light you effectively, then to me, it's a bargain. Right, what I'm going to do now is going to put the light down, take that off there, and we're going to do a little bit of a demonstration. If I go to screen share, okay, so this is the software that comes with, right, no, not strictly true. Let's get this right. I'm basically going to put the software full screen, okay. This is Logitech G Hub. This is the software, and you go to logitech.com. Okay, it's called Logitech's free G Hub desktop app, and you actually go and you download the app. If you type in Logitech Litra, then you'll get the app, and you download the app. It knows your light is there. It's set up to control more than one light, but in order for the software to work, In order, and thank you, Daniel and Marco. In order for the software to work, you have to plug it directly into your PC or Mac. Okay, it must be plugged in directly. Now, there's not a problem most of the time. We're going to go on a rant later about computers and Macs not having enough USB ports, but that's for later. This is the software. Now, you can see at its simplest what I can do if I go side by side. Okay, you can see, let's go like this. Okay, so you can see me and you can see the software on the right hand side. If I switch the light off, and I'm just basically, okay, and just basically, I'm just going to switch the light off. Just a minute, and I just need to move this. Okay, let's move this over here. Okay, I can see now. I couldn't see it then. The software is on my desktop. I started it before this broadcast, and it knows the light is there because the light is plugged directly into my Microsoft Surface Book 2 computer. Okay, if I switch the light off, you can see straight away that I am darker. You can still see me. My Logitech Bria camera is doing compensation to actually so that you can still see me. But it's a lot better when the light is on. Okay, so this is with the light on. You can actually see me now. You can see me properly. So let's go from here. There are 6 presets. Okay, now we talked about this light being, just a minute. It's all about natural skin tones and radiant look. That's what it's aiming for, and that's, I think, is what it achieves. So I'm going to go to the first preset, and if I go over here and I click on preset number 1, we're going to look at 6 presets, and then we're going to look at, well, okay, this is the first preset. The brightness is at the top and the temperature is at the bottom. So it's a very cool look. Now, what we're actually trying to do with this is we're trying to get comfortable on camera. Okay, so we're properly lit. We feel we're properly lit. That's what it's all about. Okay, so let's carry on. And the second one, that was total brightness. And here we've got about 20% of both the brightness and the temperature. Okay, it's getting more subtle is the light. And then we come down to mild afternoon. And I've got to say, this is one of my favorite. Okay, this is the one that I normally broadcast with, mild afternoon, because I do broadcast in the afternoon because I'm in the UK. 2 more, and we're nearly there. Now, some of these you won't notice any major difference. I've got to be honest, but I can notice the difference, and it is making a difference. That's number 5. This is number 6. This is cozy candlelight, and again, you've got this is high temperature and low brightness. Now, the next preset is mine. Okay, this preset is one I did earlier, and I've got to say, I don't like it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the software, and in the software, I'm going to reduce the temperature to about there. I'm going to reduce the brightness to about there. Okay, now we're starting to get something, I'm starting to get comfortable now. The thing about this is, though, that you can have your own preset. So you've got 6, and they're set for times of day, morning, early afternoon, late afternoon, evening, pitch black outside. You've got all the different settings, but you can make your own. Okay, so you can vary both the brightness and the temperature, which means that coming back to it again, you're going to get natural skin tones. Okay, now, if you're on a Zoom call and you've got good lighting, you're going to be one of the better looking images that are actually in the Zoom call, because people forget about the lighting. They don't realize how important it is. And by spending $60 on Logitech Litra light, then you can change your lighting setup so easily. Now, before we carry on, Thank you for watching me live today. I do appreciate it. And you spending time with me. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've got any questions at all about live broadcasting or anything that's in the carousel, now, point here. I own 75% of the kit that's in the carousel. In fact, last Tuesday, I did a run through of all 40 items in the carousel. I was able to show them on screen, which, so I know what I'm talking. Well, no, I don't go that far. I know about the items in my carousel. I can talk about them, but also I've been broadcasting live for the last 6 years. And if you've got any questions about live broadcasting, please do ask. Final thing, if you're enjoying this broadcast and you want to see me again, then just press the follow button and you'll be able to follow me. Okay, that's the way it works. Now, a note about following. I follow about over 200 of the broadcasters on Amazon Live. And I do that because I enjoy watching their shows. I mean, we're all independent broadcasters. We all got to know each other. We're in Facebook groups and we chat and we help and support each other. It's a very supportive community of live broadcasters on Amazon. And we learn from each other. And this is why I follow 200 odd broadcasters, is because I enjoy watching Amazon Live. I enjoy watching the different styles of presentation. Yeah. I learn. We're all learning. You never stop learning. And I've picked up lots of hints, tips, and tricks by actually watching Amazon Live, which I carry over into my other broadcasts and into Zoom calls. And there's wealth of talent here. It has to be said. Right. Okay. Now, what we're going to do now, I think I got a comment in then. I did. We say hello to Corinda, who says hello again. Corinda's a good friend who is in Staines near London in the UK. Hello, Corinda. Thank you for joining me. If you have a comment to make, then just put it in the comments on Amazon Live. I'll read it out. I can't put it on screen because that only works on Facebook and YouTube. But I will read it out. And if you follow me, then I'll be forever grateful. Okay, let's go on to the next item today. And what I'm going to do is, this is a new innovation. No, not that one. That one. Okay. Your host is me, Stephen from England. We're talking about webcams. And next we're going to talk about Logitech C920X. Thank you for watching. Please unmute. If you're not, press the button in the center of the screen. Please unmute. Okay. I'm going to leave that on there for a little while. So the next thing we're looking at, I'm going to go back here, is this. And I'm going to update the carousel. Okay, now I'm talking about Logitech C920X today because it's 14% off. It's $59.99 as opposed to $69.99. Now, if we go back 6 years to when Facebook Live started, there were a group of 400 or 500 of us on a system called Blab, which was the predecessor of Facebook Live, really. And we knew we were going to be able to go live on Facebook Live. And we said to each other, we've got to up our game. We have to improve our game. We're going to be on Facebook. We're going to be broadcasting on Facebook. And it seems like yesterday, but it was actually 2015, 2016. And just let me go here and take that off again, because that's okay. You'll see that occasionally as we actually change so that people actually watching on Facebook and YouTube. And today we're actually also on Twitch. Everybody watching. I've got a comment coming from Corinda, and it's going to show automatically. So let's see the comment from Corinda. How did you do that? Okay. How did I do this? Okay. This is what Corinda's talking about. How did I do that? Well, first of all, if I go here, no, I'm not going to do anything. I'm in my Be Live studio. I went to widgets and I went to, just before we carry on, I went to sticky notes. Now, sticky notes has been around on Be Live for yonks, ages, as we'd say in the UK. And people forgot about it. and couldn't find a use for it. So when I came on Amazon Live, I thought, I've got a use for the sticky notes. So that's it. Those are all sticky notes, just like you put them on your piece of paper. Yeah. So I've got those on the screen. So it's sticky notes, and it's in widgets, Corinda. Okay. And it is quite effective, especially when you're changing and you're actually broadcasting on more than Amazon Live. Okay. So back to the story. Thank you, Corinda. Back to the story. We're all thinking about broadcasting on Facebook Live. And we needed, well, we've got to up our game. So we needed, because we've been using an internal camera, internal microphone, we needed an external camera. And the camera we all chose was this, which is the Logitech C920X, which I'm showing on the screen now. And if I go here, it's the Logitech C920X, and the X stands for extra. I'm going to explain what the extra is. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what you actually get with this, because it's not just a camera you're buying. You actually get a 3-month license to something. I'll reveal all in a moment. Okay, it is full 1080. Okay, I'm broadcasting to you now at 720p. 1080 is further up. The higher the number, the more pixels transmitted with the broadcast, the clearer the picture. Yeah. Okay. That's the way it works. So 1080p is high definition, as it says, and 30 frames per second is the number of frames that are being transmitted every second. 30 FPS is internet standard for live broadcasting. There are systems that can go 60 and 90, but for everyday purposes, we're all broadcasting either in 720 or 1080p and at 30 FPS. So those are standards. Okay, so this is why we all got this camera, because I've had this camera for 6 years. Okay, and when you get the camera, just a minute, all you need to do is to plug it in to your PC or Mac. Now, millions of these cameras have been sold. Your PC or Mac will recognize it straight away and say, oh, you've got a Logitech C920. Thank you. This is one of the best cameras, because this is 6 years old. Now, the one that's down the carousel is not 6 years old. I'm going to give you a date when that was actually, I mean, this has been totally reworked, but it looks like this. Okay. Now, when you get the camera, take it out of the box, and then you open that shelf there, and then you put it over the back of your monitor. Okay. And you just adjust this. I'll do it this way around. You adjust that. So it's seated on your monitor, and you can look straight at the camera. Okay. Now, that looking straight at the camera, which is what I'm doing at this moment, is a learned skill. Yeah. Most people, especially on Zoom calls, will look straight at themselves on camera. What that means is, if I look at the camera, then I'm looking straight at you. Okay. And that's a learned skill. And that's important. If you're broadcasting solo, it's important to actually try and look at the camera. Most times I do, but I know it's one of my failings, and occasionally my eyes will wander. But I do try to actually look at the camera when I'm broadcasting. The next thing, I'm going to show you some software in a minute. So in a couple of minutes' time, you will see all about background removal software. So stay with me. You've got a lens in the middle. You've got twin omnidirectional microphones, and the field of view is 78 degrees. Okay. Some of the cameras we'll look at later have a wider field of view. And when we look at Logitech Bria, I'm going to explain what field of view means. Okay. And on to the next bit. Okay. And there is a piece of software. I love it when you've got the hardware and then you've got software to control it. I mean, you can just plug this camera in and it will work. Yeah. But if you use the software, there are things that you can do with the software which are better than the default. Okay. So I'm going to show you that software shortly when we go into Logitech Bria, because it controls all Logitech cameras apart from the Mevo. Right. It's got a low light setting. If I switch my lights off, then the camera will do its best to actually autocorrect. Yeah. And it's got 78 degrees field of view. We've talked about that. And this camera, the version in the carousel was released 2020, but in terms of quality, this camera, 6 years old, is as new. It goes on my second PC, which is behind me, which you'll see later. And it's the ideal first camera for anybody, for yourself, for a friend, for a relative. Yeah, it's the ideal gift to give somebody, because if you're on Zoom and you want to improve how you look, then spending $59.99 on it, it's not just a camera. This is a camera and microphone. So this is your first camera and microphone, and it is good quality. Okay, I haven't got anything. I mean, I said honest reviews, honest review, value for money, good quality. Okay, now what I'm going to do is say this, that Logitech C920X includes a 3-month license of XSplit background removal. Okay, so you've got a 3-month license to software. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to bring this up on screen. And for 2 minutes, because I'm not going to show you the full video, because I want to come and talk to you. For 2 minutes, I'm going to put this video full screen. Okay, the video is on YouTube and it's now in my studio. I'm going to switch my microphone off and I'm going to press play. And if you've ever wondered how background removal works, irrespective of the system, they all use the same principles. So let's have a look at background removal software. He's in England and I'm here to give you an overview of XSplit VCam, how it works. Background removal tool I've been using since January 2019 and it just keeps getting better and better. Now the image behind me is one of Salisbury Cathedral, and the acid test of any background removal tool is that you still have 10 fingers with little webbing between them. Okay, so that test passed. Second is the outline of your body. Those are the things to look for when you're looking at a green screen, the ability to actually move about. So let's take a look at the software itself. And this is the XSplit VCam program. Okay, now you notice the top there, it says original. This is me. This is also me. So this is how I look normally. Now, first stage is to actually remove the background. So let's remove the background by pressing a button and I get background's gone. Okay, prove that if I go here, background has disappeared. Okay, so the next step is to select a background to go in place. And you can do that just by clicking an image, you'll get a different background. Okay, that's it. That's very colorful. Now, just a warning, you need to make sure that the image at the top is not too light. Okay, what you don't want is to have an image too light at the top. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. Okay, now XSplit VCam is an external program which you download from XSplit, and it sits on your computer and you can use it in this way. Okay, so over to one of my favorite backgrounds. So I'm just switching background. Now, if I go to here, you can actually see that I can get backgrounds from several sources. I can upload a media file. Okay, and I'm going to upload a media file. I'm going to go on my hard drive to artwork and to reduced. Okay, and I'm going to bring up this image, and that's it. That's how easy it is to take an image from your hard drive and bring it on screen. Second thing you can do is you can do with background removal software, XSplit VCam, is that you can have a YouTube video playing behind you. Now, you go to YouTube. If it's your video, just grab the URL, bring it into XSplit VCam, and you've got video playing in the background. If it's somebody else's video, then it has to be public. Okay. If it's public, grab the URL, bring it to the XSplit VCam software, put it in. If it plays, good. If it doesn't play, then person who actually put the video on YouTube, has not allowed us to use it outside of YouTube. Go on to the next video. Okay, but you can have a moving video playing in the background. Now, the video that plays in the background will not have any sound, so you can still be heard because there's no sound. Third place you can actually get a background from is you can have a website as your background, either your own website or anybody else's website, because websites by default are public. So you can put in the URL of the website into Webcam and you can have a website behind you. Okay, now, next thing is that there's a website. And the website is called unsplash.com. Okay, unsplash.com is where photographers from around the world have sent in their best photographs and put them onto unsplash.com. And you can go there and there's a search box. And if you type in Paris, Texas, you'll get images from Paris, Texas. If you type in Paris, France, you'll get images from Paris, France. In other words, you can get basically images from anywhere around the world, any topic. There are works of art as well as images, photographic images. And you can download them and then bring them into Webcam and you can have it as your backdrop. Now I've got about 80 different backdrops and I can flick between them, all from unsplash.com. Take a look at unsplash.com later. Okay, but that is, oh, Alexa's, oh, I've woken up Alexa. I better be quiet now. Okay, I'm going to come back normally. I think she's forgotten that I'm here, hopefully. We're using Alexa to get information about the items that I'm showing you. So she has a use. Echo Dot down in the carousel. We couldn't live without it. We use it to set alarms in the morning. We use it to set times. I use it for cooking. When I do a roast dinner, then I set a timer for the chicken, a timer for the roast potatoes, and a timer for the roast vegetables. Okay, and that's how I do my cooking. That's the only way I can do it. And basically, cooking with Alexa. Right, okay, so that's the Logitech C920X camera with the background removal software included. It's 14% off today, $59.99. This one, this is an ideal first camera. It's ideal for Zoom and for Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Absolutely brilliant. I just want to say thank you to Bryce, who's joined us on YouTube, and he's saying that's what he has too. Okay, Bryce, thank you. That's the other thing. Nearly forgot that, Bryce. Thank you for the reminder. I said all my fellow broadcasters, when Facebook Live started, got this camera, and this camera is 6 years old. The latest version of it is the one down in the carousel, which is a total rework, released March 31st, 2020. But my colleagues, my fellow broadcasters, have still got the C920X because it still works. The reason that I upgraded, which I expand on later, is I wanted to go 4K. I'll tell you why I wanted to go 4K in a moment. Okay, so that's the Logitech C920X. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put, how is it when you get two wires together, they actually get intertwined? I've no idea. Okay, right. I suppose you're wondering about T-shirt. Okay, because I've given you glimpses of the T-shirt. The T-shirt actually says SH, and SH stands for, just a minute, if this shows on screen, it'd be good. It stands for Stephen Healey. So there you have it. I've got my own personalized T-shirt, but I cannot claim total credit for it because it actually is a Stonehenge T-shirt. Yeah. And the marketing department at Stonehenge decided to rebrand and just use SH. So SH means Stephen Healey and Stonehenge. So I've got a whole Stonehenge wardrobe, which, hang on a minute, I can hide that now. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to hide that. I've got a whole wardrobe to look forward to. As Stonehenge bring out new clothing, I'm going to get it. And then I can come on a live broadcast and have my initials on screen. So thank you to the Stonehenge marketing department. Okay, now, if you're watching live, thank you on Amazon Live, thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. If you're watching on Facebook, I do appreciate being here. Wherever you're watching from, do let me know where you are, and we can sort of get a conversation going. If you're enjoying watching on Amazon Live, then please do hit the follow button. I don't get your information. It just means that next time I go live, you'll be told that I'm live. But just as a note, I am live at 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday, and you are watching. Just a minute, let's go back here. I don't need that anymore. I can go here. And just a note, you are watching Stephen live from Wiltshire in England, home of Stonehenge, home of Avebury, Salisbury, and Salisbury Hill. Okay, so let's move on. And just want to say, I really enjoy, you probably tell by now, I really enjoy doing this, and I enjoy your company. I'm glad that you're actually with me today, talking about the items in the carousel. If you have any questions at all about live broadcasting, please do ask. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to flick through the carousel. Welcome. I see somebody else has just joined. Thank you. And I've got a few more cameras to go to, but I just want to spend a minute because we just talked about green screen software. Yeah. Software houses actually say that if you want to use background removal software, you don't need a green screen. I've got to say that that's okay. However, if you don't have a green screen and you use background removal software and you don't have good lighting, what you get is around there a line and your hair blows in the breeze. Okay, and the screen itself will tear. If you've got a green screen, you're going to get near perfection. Yeah. Now, I don't use a green screen software when I'm broadcasting to Amazon Live, because if I showed you this, it just wouldn't look, you wouldn't be able to see it. It would be covered by the background removal software. That's why I've got the green screen, because I believe in green screens. I've been using them since January 2019 to great effect. And when I'm not on Amazon Live, I use a green screen. But I can't show product and use a green screen at the same time, just a note. Okay, the next item, so that's the Logitech reversible green screen, which is in the background there. And it is today $79.95. And it's the difference between a good background and a great background. Okay, now onward and upward. The next camera we're going to go to, is this one. And I just want to go over here for a second. Just forgive me for moving about a bit. It's the Logitech Bria 4K webcam. Down in the carousel is the featured item at the moment, bottom left. And today's, oh wow. Today it's $163.19, which is 42% off, which is less than I paid for it. But I've had mine for 2 years and I'm happy. Now, we broadcasting, we've got 720, which I'm broadcasting in now. We've got 1080, yeah, which is more pixels and clearer picture. The 720 is DVD quality. That's that end. Oh, 720 is DVD quality. 1080 is high definition. 4K is just, well, 4K. Well, it's just amazing. Yeah. Now we can't broadcast in 4K because we don't have the internet infrastructure. We can't use browser-based software to do it, but we can use OBS or vMix or XSplit Broadcaster. Now, I wanted to broadcast in 4K. I wanted to know what it was like, because this is the future. At some point down the road, we'll all be able to broadcast in 4K, which will mean a clearer picture. So I got XSplit Broadcaster and this very camera, and I broadcast in 4K to YouTube. We can broadcast in 4K to YouTube. Absolutely amazing. And the thing is that when you do, and I went over and I watched the replay, the quality is just stunning. Yeah. So the reason that I have a Logitech Bria camera is, first of all, well, I'm going to show you all the facilities in a moment, but basically because I wanted to broadcast in 4K. and it was one of the first cameras that allowed us to do that, and to do that effectively. And we can broadcast to YouTube. Did I mention that? Probably did. Okay. It is. You're watching it now, so I can't give you a better demonstration than you're actually watching it now. It's ultra 4K video, and Logitech may emphasize that point later. Next thing is, it's got a noise cancelling microphone. Now, just like the C920X, it's got microphones. Okay, so it's not just a camera, it's an external microphone, better than the microphone that's in your PC or Mac, better quality, and it's noise cancelling. Now, what that means is, when you're actually live broadcasting, you've got things going on all around you, and you can hear the noises. If you've got a noise cancelling microphone, then the noises will not go out on the broadcast. The only thing that you can hear now is my voice and Alexa's voice. Alexa, say hello.
Hello.
There you are. You can only hear the two of us because the noise cancelling software I'm using is actually set to voice only. And if I asked Alexa to play Led Zeppelin, then she wouldn't. Well, she would play it, but you wouldn't hear it. And we tested this the other day. And we know that if I do that, I'm not going to be taken off air. Now, we said earlier that lighting is important. I'm lit by Logitech Litra Glow Light, if we remember that. That was earlier in today's broadcast. It's down the carousel. It's $59.99, and I am lit by it. But if I didn't have any lighting, then there would be high definition auto light correction from my Logitech Bria. Now, Logitech Bria I have is on top of my BenQ monitor, and I'm trying my best to look at the camera. Okay, but it's on my BenQ monitor securely. It's got a wide field of view. It's got a 90-degree field of view as opposed to the 78-degree field of view we actually saw on the C920X. I knew Logitech were going to stress this. It's 4 times the resolution of a typical HD webcam. And if you broadcast to YouTube, you'll see the quality. Quality is stunning. Now, just a note, I want to go back to that for a minute. As I said, you can use OBS vMix or XSplit broadcasters to broadcast from your desktop, be it PC or Mac, out to YouTube. And the quality on YouTube is stunning. The clarity of the picture, 4,000 pixels instead of 1080 or 720. But you notice when you go to YouTube and you're watching a video, there's a little cog underneath. Now, all videos on YouTube are either displayed at 720p or 1080p by default. If you want to watch a 4K video, you need to touch the cog and switch to 4K. Otherwise, you're just watching in high definition, not ultra high definition. Okay, so click the cog on YouTube and all will be well. It's got auto light adjustment, which is called white light, and it has 3 presets: 90 degrees, 78 degrees, or 65 degrees. Okay, now, if you've got a Logitech camera, there's a piece of software. I'm going to go down here, and the piece of software is called Logitech Capture. Okay, you go to logitech.com, you type in logitech.capture or Logitech Capture, download the software, install it, and it will see your Logitech camera straight away, and you can control your camera using the software. Now, if you buy a Logitech camera and you take it out of the box, plug it into your PC or Mac, it will work straight away. But you're actually using the default settings, and you can improve things. You could, but okay. This is all about you being comfortable on camera. That's why we're doing this. That's why we're going to, I'm going to stop rabbiting, and I'm actually going to share with you. Hopefully this will work. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to share my screen over here, and waiting a moment, and hopefully I'll be able to capture it. Nope, it's gone. Just a minute. Okay. Now we haven't. You've got to be quick. Okay. Now we've got it. Okay. When you're live broadcasting or zooming, and you share a tab, it just shares straight away. But if you try to share an application from your desktop, then it's like fishing. You cast your rod and you've got to hope that you get a bite. So we've got it. We've actually got a bite. And this is the software that controls any Logitech camera, with the exception of the Mevo. And basically, you go to logitech.com and you download it. And then you've got, let's just hide a few things. So we've talked about that, so that can go. We've talked about where I live, so that can go. And this is the software. Okay, so to the right of me is the software that you can download from Logitech to control your camera. What we're going to do is we're going to go through what you can do, okay, to any of your Logitech cameras. Now, this should work. I say should. Things can go wrong. Just be aware of that. But I'm going to try my best to actually demonstrate the software to you. And hopefully, at the end of the demonstration, actually restore it back to what it was when it began. Okay, first thing you can do with the software, with your cursor on the plus button, is that you can actually zoom in. Okay, now this is not a good look. So you can zoom in as far as you want, but I would suggest that that's a bit big. Now, I want to make a note before I carry on. Just a minute. I don't know about you, but I've watched so many Zoom calls, taken part in so many Zoom calls, and always somebody on screen who's cut off the top of their head. This is not a good look. It's not intentional. It's by accident. They just haven't thought about it. Yeah, I'm going to say that. But it's not a good look, because when we're actually watching a film or even a live video, we expect to be able to see the top of people's heads. Okay, it's just human nature. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to zoom out again. Okay, so zoom out, and now this is how to appear on screen. This is my version of how to appear on screen. First thing you need is headroom. So you've got to have a space above your head, which technically is called headroom, so that people can see the top of your head. Okay. Second thing is that you have to be positioned in the center of the screen. If you're off to one side, yeah, it distracts people. What you want to be is at the center of the screen. That's the aim. And you want to be comfortable. You want to be sat on a comfortable chair and relaxing and talking to people. The other thing about just presentation, really, one of the things about video is it works best when you can sit reasonably still. If you start doing that, okay, and you start waving your hands about, moving your hands, yeah, then that's distracting for people watching. The other thing is, though, that every time you move, we've got to send more pixels over the internet. We've got to send more data over the internet. Every time you move, we send pixels over the internet, and we're burning energy. So when you're presenting on Zoom or Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch, try to sit still. Use your hands within reason, but don't fidget and don't move your hands about. If you do that one thing, if we all do that one thing of keeping reasonably still on camera, we will save trees, because we're not using as much energy. Yeah, save trees, stay still. Okay, right. Okay, so that's a rant over. So that's basically zooming in and out. I can pan to the right. Okay, what I'm going to do here, I just need to change my screen for a moment. So just let me change my screen layout so that you can see me wide angle. Okay, you've now got a wide angle view. Okay, I can come in tighter so you can actually see the controls. But if I zoom out, yeah, I can move left and right using the controls. So I can go to the right of me, and you'll see a Samsung all-in-one PC and a chest of drawers, which is actually being built at the moment. And if I go to the other side, you will see my bookcase. Okay, now I'm going to come back. So I'm actually in the center of the screen. Okay, so I'm back in the center of the screen. And this is how I prefer to be. So again, position yourself in the center of the screen. You can also, that's the pan, you can also tilt. So I can go down or up using the controls. Now, in terms of how looking good on camera, you can go to 90 degrees. And what you see at 90 degrees, if I just zoom out and go here, if you go to 90 degrees with no zoom at all, then this is what you get. Now, this is, stop the hand bit. This is a good way to broadcast, but we all found our own way to broadcast. And my way of broadcasting is quite simply not to show the whole of my background, because remember, I use a green screen quite a lot. It's to actually up the resolution and go in 78 degrees. Okay, now the only thing you can see behind me is the green screen. You're the only people who've actually seen on Amazon Live, you've seen the back of my office. Okay, the other thing we do, we can go tighter, we can go 65 degrees, and that gets tighter on me, but I'm not comfortable at that. I don't particularly want to be so close to the camera. This is too close, and this is all about being comfortable. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the controls again, and I'm going to zoom back to my standard 78 degrees. Okay, so 78 degrees is comfortable to me. Now, the other thing we can do, we can change the brightness. Okay, we can up the brightness and we can take it right down and it will respond. Okay, so you can't see me now, and that's because I adjusted the brightness. I'm going to bring it back, and the default on all the settings is 50%. Okay, we've got there. I always worry when I do this that I'm actually going to end up with a system which is not okay. Anything can happen during a live broadcast. We can also change the color intensity, so I can go bright red. There could be circumstances when you want to be bright red, but I don't. Or you could go to sepia. Okay, now this could be a good look. Okay, if you want to stand out from the crowd, turn the color intensity down and you can be ghostly. Okay, just saying. Okay, let's turn the intensity back up, and we know the default setting for this is to push the slider all the way back up to 50. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to try and put some color back in my cheeks, and we're going to go to 50. Okay, the other day I left it on 33 and it didn't look good. Contrast, this is this free software, Logitech Capture. You can download it for logitech.com, works with any Logitech camera. I can turn down the contrast, okay, but I'm not that negative. I can turn up the contrast, or I can go to 50%. Okay, let me just go back. 52, 50. Wow, not bad. What I'm just going to do at this stage as well, occasionally what happens is that things go out of sync. I'm going to switch my light off. I'm going to switch it back on again. Okay. If you're doing something and it goes wrong, switch it off, switch it back on again. Computer, browser, everything, switch it off, switch it back on again. True with lighting as well. Now, on the right-hand side, looking at the software, you've got basically the auto white balance, and you can either have that on or off, and it's a choice. Yeah, is how you want to look on camera. So I'm going to go with that. That's a pretty good representation. If I went to look in the mirror now, I would look like that. Autofocus we don't use anymore. There's no need to use autofocus at all. Just forget it. Okay, so if I come back to me, I can tell you that the software is called Logitech Capture. If you've got any Logitech camera, then all you need to do is go to logitech.com, type in Logitech Capture, download the software, install it, it will see your Logitech camera. Simple as that. And it is worth it, because when you get the camera, it's got the default settings and they're not always the best. You want to have your camera your way. And today, my camera my way is the Logitech Bria camera. Down the carousel, it's an amazing 42% off today if you click the link in the carousel. Now, whilst we're talking about the carousel, I'm just going to cursor along. I'm just going to give you a heads up on any items which I've got a discount. Featured in the carousel now is the Audio Technica AT2020 microphone, which is over there. This is, he said, we're just doing a few items, and I'll come back to something which is my new hobby. I'm going to tell you about my new hobby. This is the Audio Technica AT2020 recommended to me, and that's the best way to. I mean, you're in an ideal position now. You can watch the broadcasters on Amazon Live, and you can ask them, I love the sound of your microphone. Which microphone are you using? And they will tell you. And some of them will be using the Audio Technica AT2020. Okay. Now you can mount this in a boom arm, or it's got the tripod mount of its own. Yeah. Position it about 6 foot away from you. That's ideal. And it's a high quality sound. That's why I got it. At the moment, you're listening to the Elgato Wave 3. But I will bring the Audio Technica into the broadcast tomorrow. I'm live on every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. in the UK, and you can come and watch and you can ask questions. Please do ask questions. Yeah, I love giving the answers. Okay, so the Audio Technica microphone, and also on discount today is this, the Fitbit Inspire 2. It's 18% off, but we're coming to that later in this broadcast. I'm just zipping through to see if there's anything else. You see, the thing is that we get special discounts whilst we're live. Okay, this is the Apple iPad, and I love my iPad. I had to get one so I can actually broadcast on Amazon Live. You either need an iPhone or an iPad, and I got an iPad. I love it. It's got everything you would want. I've ditched my Android tablet. I used to have a Samsung Android tablet. I now use the iPad consistently, not just for live broadcasting on Amazon Live, which is a prerequisite, but also in the evening, surfing, playing videos, reading the news, going on Facebook, playing games. Okay, everything the Apple iPad does. And we might not get a chance to get to this. So this is the TrebLab HD77 speaker. So it's down in the carousel. I'm just going to speak about it for a moment. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, this speaker is meant for the outdoors. Okay, and Angelica and I are going to be taking it on our travels, and it's so easy to operate. It's got 4 embossed buttons on the top. It's got switch on and off. So I'll switch it on. Okay, and it turns blue. You can, it made a sound, but you can't hear that sound. It's got well, now it's got the LED light on, so you know it's switched on. It pairs easily. It pairs ever so easily. I'm trying to find something now. I need it later. What have I done with it? I've forgotten something again. How can this happen? How can I'm going to have to tidy up. And hopefully when I do tidy up in a moment, we'll actually find what I'm looking for, because I need it for a demonstration. Okay, never mind. Okay, but this is 33% off today. Right, okay. I'm going to switch it off again. Okay, all right, I'm going to come back to where I want to be. And where I want to be is this. Okay, we're going to talk about anything you like, really. Just ask me a question. Tell me where you are. Okay, talk about anything. Yeah. And just a reminder, we are talking now. Let me just go over here, and I'm going to switch this on. Okay, you are watching. Your host is Stephen live from England. We're talking about webcams, but we're not going to talk about webcam. What we're actually going to talk about now is, can you guess what it is? Here's the home gimbal. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. I do want to say thank you for watching, and if you're watching and you're not listening to me, then please do unmute. Okay, so that's me. Okay, so let's take that off. Okay, and I'm in my BeLive studio. Take that off and back to me. Okay, now I told you a moment ago that I've got a new hobby, and the new hobby is all about. I've misplaced something. That's incredible. Just a second. Just give me a second. I just want to do a recce around the room. I know you can't see what I'm looking at, but for the second time in 2 days. Oh, wait a minute. I know where it is. Found it. Okay. What I'm going to do is, oh, it must be there. It's there. I found what I'm looking for, which helps. When you're doing a demonstration, it helps to have the article you're actually demonstrating. Thank you for being patient. Okay. My new hobby is this. Now, it's not the phone itself. It's shooting mobile video on my phone. And phone is a Samsung Android, but it could equally well be an iPhone. And the thing about it is, when you are shooting video on your phone, live video, as I do, I go live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch when I'm using mobile video. One of the things that is a problem with doing mobile video, with basically with it in your hand, just let me move something. And in fact, I need to move 2 things. Okay, so bear with me a minute. Bear with me. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. One of the things when you're actually holding the phone like that is you're actually concentrating on not dropping it. It's an expensive phone. It could be an iPhone or a Samsung, and you don't want to drop the phone. So you're concentrating on not dropping the phone, and that means that you may miss your best shots. Okay. The second thing is, and this is, well, this is just nature, really. If I go here, if you're shooting video on your mobile phone, then as you're walking, the phone is going to be going up and down, and you can't do anything about it because it's your gait, it's your walk, yeah, your stride, and the phone just goes naturally up and down. Now, if you're shooting video just for you and family, not a problem. But if you're shooting video and you want to put it on YouTube afterwards and you want people to watch it, you don't want to have a shaky video. The answer to that lies down in the carousel, and I'm going to unveil it now. I don't do unboxings. I'm rubbish at unboxings, but I do taking out of the cases. Okay, this is the Ho-M iSteady gimbal. iSteady. I'm going to show you how it works. I mean, it's amazingly simple. Okay, so I'm going to go off full screen. I'm going to switch this camera on, and I need to do one more thing. Okay, whilst you're looking at this, okay, I'm going to switch the light on so you can actually see what's actually there. I'm going to take the name off because that's covering things up, isn't it? So let's take that off. Okay, and if I go full screen, I should go to picture in picture. If I go here, right, I want to shrink myself. Wait a minute, I just need to shrink. If I don't shrink myself, you won't see everything. Okay, so now shrunk. Okay, I'm still with you, but the camera you're watching big screen is the Hillworth Tiny, and that's the Hillworth Tiny. Hello. Okay, and yes, you can see out the window. You can see the roof out the window. Need to change the angle somewhat. Now, this is my demonstration area. This is my demonstration camera. This is the gimbal. Okay. Now, what you do to use a gimbal, this is gimbal 101. Take your phone and take your phone out of the case. Always take your phone out of the case. Then put your phone into the clamp, which will expand to take larger phones. Yeah, so the clamp expands, and your phone should end up, without its case, of course, with the camera at the top Okay, I'm going to turn that towards the camera with the camera at the top and resting on that ledge there. Okay, that basically is how you put the camera in. Out of its case, open. It's sometimes easy to do it with two people, but you can. Even I can do it single-handed. Now, that's your gimbal, and you've got your camera in there. The next thing you do is switch the gimbal on, but don't switch the gimbal on whilst you're holding it like that. The first thing a gimbal does is it stabilizes itself. And if you don't, well, don't hold it in the air, put it down on a flat surface. Now mine's gone onto my desking and you can see it, it's there on the desking. Then switch it on. And if you switch it on, then it will stabilize properly. And once you've got it stabilized, it is then ready to use. And all you need to do is point and shoot. Okay. Now, obviously, you need to switch record on your mobile phone, but I'm taking that as a given. Okay, now I can wax lyrical about the High My Steady gimbal down the carousel. It's better, however, if I actually show you a video shot with the home gimbal. So this is what the home gimbal can do. Just a minute, I just need to look for something because I want to, okay, I'm going to do this. This video is created using the Home My Steady gimbal. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to put the gimbal down so the gimbal's safe. Yeah, and I'm going to find a video. And the video we're going to see today, let me just go along here. There are all sorts of videos that I can show you. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, so this video was actually shot using the Home iSteady gimbal. I'm going to put it full screen. Okay, we're going to go on a tour of Salisbury Cathedral. I'm going to switch my microphone off, and this video was shot using the walk around, and it is a great place to visit. It's something about Salisbury. And say hello to Facebook, YouTube, Twitter and Twitch. Hopefully I'm live on my website too as we take this walk around Salisbury Cathedral. This is going to be a short broadcast, but hopefully it's a successful one. I can't see your comments because I'm actually just following around the cloisters. Okay, now the plan is we'll walk around the four sides of the cloisters and try and avoid people. But Salisbury for centuries has been a place of pilgrimage, just in the same way that pilgrims in Spain go on pilgrimages. Then this is one of the places that people from Europe used to come and visit. We're about to go past a door in a moment, a very special door. So we head towards the end of the corridor, and this piece is closed off. There are gardens through that door. We can go out into the gardens, but we're coming up the third side of the cloisters. And if I go over here, then I can give you an idea of what he said standing up, what the cloisters actually look like. It is a beautiful sight. As I just pan round to the cathedral itself, and hopefully I can just climb down again. Okay, 1, 2, we're down. Okay, so now on our right, and it will be described in a moment on this poster here, this is the chapter house. And the chapter house, we can sort of look through the grass, but that's where there is one of the copies of the Magna Carta from 1215. And it's one of the original copies made at the time of the original. It's one of only 3 existing copies of the Magna Carta. And if you go through that doorway, then you can All right, I'll just stop the video for a moment. We can't actually go inside the cathedral, but what we can do is we can go for a little walk outside the cathedral. So I'm going to show you what the cathedral looks from the outside. Now, Salisbury Cathedral was built in the 1100s and is a place of pilgrimage for people from all around the world, and this is what they come to see. And there is the cathedral. I'm just hoping that I can actually show you the magnificence of the cathedral as we go around. And there's nobody walking around here, we're quite safe until I get to the edge. Then what I'm going to try and do is go up, and if I zoom out you get some idea of what the cathedral actually looks like. I'm just going to try and adjust here because I do want to get it. That's it. I'm going right to the top of the spire, and it will be cold up there today, and then coming down, sorry for the being juddery, but we're actually coming down the external walls of the cathedral. Okay, so it is the 21st December. It was, he said, getting back on camera. That was Salisbury Cathedral, which is about 100 miles away from London. It's a beautiful place to visit. If you're thinking of coming to England, please do. And you can visit Stonehenge, Salisbury Cathedral, Avebury, all in one day. Okay, you can get a coach from London that will take you directly to all three, and you can visit 3 historical sites in England in one day. Okay, now I love the fact that I can use my gimbal. Just a minute. Okay, as it said, this video was created using the Home iStudy gimbal. Just a minute, I just need to make an adjustment. If everything goes perfectly well in a video, a live video, something's wrong. So that video was created using a home gimbal. Okay, you can see how steady it was, apart from when I was looking at the spire. But the second thing you'll notice about the video is that I was doing a voiceover. Now, if you can use your internal microphone. You can make it single direction, so it's just listening to you, but it's not high enough quality to put the video on YouTube because you need good sound. You really do need good sound on a video for people to stay and watch. And if you want good sound, you can get good sound because down the carousel at the moment is this. Okay, this is down the carousel. This is it. I just want to get steady on my seat. Okay, this is the PowerDewise microphone. Okay, this is the difference between a video for own use, personal use, and a video you can put on YouTube is the sound. And this is the best lapel microphone I found. It's down the carousel at the moment. It is today $35.45, which is an amazing 41% off. Okay, I was just ducking and diving there to get the price for you. Okay, you can see it yourselves. I know, but I just want to read it out. That's the packaging that it comes in. Okay, I'm going to put that down there. This is the carrying case, the PowerDewise carrying case, and it says on the back of it, words can change lives, record them perfectly. And I've got to say that the PowerDewise, those are the words, it does record perfectly. Basically, if I unzip this, normally this lives in my rucksack along with my gimbal, and we go out and about, Angelica and I, to country houses, national monuments and castles. We've got lots of castles in England. I can take my home gimbal and this. Now this is a knotted. I don't know how this happens. It wasn't knotted when I put it in there. So this is a lapel microphone with the cover on. Now, the lapel microphone basically goes on your clothing. I'm going to show you how. What I'm going to do, it's got a crocodile clip. I'm going to take the crocodile clip. I'm going to attach it to my clothing. It's It's very simple to do. Just a minute. Okay. And it attaches to your clothing like that. And I am Stephen Healey. And this is a Stonehenge t-shirt. Okay. So that's one end. And then you've got a standard audio lead, which you simply plug into the audio socket on your phone, like that. Okay. Now, the simple act of plugging in your phone cuts out the internal microphone, and it's now using the lapel microphone. And you're getting the quality sound that you actually heard a moment ago in the Salisbury Cathedral video. That was shot using this microphone. And because the microphone is actually on your body, you're absorbing a lot of the sound that's around you. And the first sound that's actually heard is your voice. Okay. So if you're doing a voice over all the noise that's going on around you. Yeah, this is the great companion to your mobile phone, and it takes your amateur video and makes it semi-professional or professional. Now, attaching it to your mobile phone is one way of using it, but I have, in addition to being a live broadcaster, I'm a Udemy instructor. Udemy quite probably are the largest online course system in the world, and you can go to Udemy and you can buy a course for $50 on any topic under the sun, thousands of topics, great range to choose from. Udemy.com, udemy.com. Now, I've got 15,000 students on Udemy, which I'm proud of, and basically they expect good quality. In fact, Udemy are very strict on quality. And they said, if you want to record courses for us, you need a good camera. Okay. Logitech C920X, Logitech Bria. Or, as far as sound's concerned, you've got two options. You can either soundproof your room, or you can buy yourself a lapel microphone. So I bought myself a lapel microphone. And all the courses I've done on Udemy have been recorded using a lapel microphone, use number 2. And of course, they're accepted, and people in their thousands have taken courses, for which I'm eternally grateful. I'm grateful for you watching here today. So yeah, I'm lucky. The third use of this microphone, if you are using the internal microphone on your PC or Mac, then it's reasonable quality. Okay, these days, I'm not going to say it's not, but if you want to prove the quality of your sound, you can plug this microphone into your PC or Mac, put the lapel microphone on your body, and you've got better quality sound straight away, and you're only spending $35.45. Okay, so you're getting a great microphone, great sound quality, without the expense of the one I'm going to show you later, but without any great expense. You've improved the sound quality on your live mobile videos, on your Udemy courses if you create courses or instructional videos for anybody. And I create instructional videos as well, as you've seen the one I just did for Expert Webcam. And I'm just back to 5 videos for major broadcasting platforms. I'll be using this microphone to do it. So great microphone, and it's down in the carousel at the moment, and it is $35.45. Right, I just want to do a Cook's tour for a moment. Basically, what I want to do is go back to the screen. We're going to hide the video of Salisbury Cathedral and come back to here. Okay, down in the carousel, you'll find the TP-Link Deco, which is the best Wi-Fi system that I've found. We've got 3 units. Angelica's got one, I've got one, there's one downstairs. Very little buffering. If you're watching a movie on Amazon Prime, it just plays, simple as that. It even distributes the Wi-Fi throughout the premises. Great system. We've got 2 plants, nothing to do with the carousel. These are plants we're going to watch grow in 2022. We've got my BeLive mug. I actually work for BeLive, and this is my broadcast on Amazon. We've also got down the carousel probably the best headphones I found were walking, running, jogging, and cycling, which are, I'll show you them in a minute. There are aftershock or shocks. Yeah. I want to talk about this. Okay. Over here, just a minute. Let me move the. We've talked about Logitech Litra light, which is lighting me at the moment. I'm just about to put that. Just a minute. Don't go anywhere. I just want to put that back in its place. Okay, so that's going back on top of the Microsoft Surface Book 2, which is down the carousel. I'm going to put my phone over there out of the way. I'm going to put the power device. I shouldn't really leave it out of its pouch, should I? I'm going to put the power device back in its pouch. Okay. And that's going to take a second, just a minute. It's probably the way I put it back that actually tangles all the wires up. I'll have to tidy it up afterwards. And that's out of the way. I'm going to zip that up. Okay, and come back, because I want to come back to the desktop. I love Anker products. And I have my best buy of 2022 is down in the carousel at the moment. And this basically is the Anker. It's only $17.99. It's the Anker 4-way USB hub. And it is there. That's it. And it's time for a run. Okay. When we buy a brand spanking new PC or Mac, we get it home, we get it working, and then we discover it doesn't have enough USB ports. There is no reason known to man why a PC or Mac should not come with up to 6 USB ports, or 6 USB A ports and 2 USB-C ports. No reason at all. Because what I wanted to do, quite simply, was I wanted to plug in 2 cameras, a microphone, and my Logitech Litra light into my Microsoft Surface Book 2. But I've only got 2 USB ports. So I spent $17.99 buying the Anker 4-way USB port. And this, basically, I've got 2 cameras plugged into there, a microphone and the Logitech Litra light. And the microphones and the cameras work as if they were plugged directly into the Microsoft Surface Book 2. So that's just a little word about them. Okay, let's come back to me. Now, I want to say thank you for watching me live today on Amazon Live. I do appreciate your spending your time with me. If you have any questions about live broadcasting or about anything in the carousel, please do ask. Okay, now, the next thing I'm going to show you is this. Okay. My iPad's just swiveled. Okay. Don't worry about it. You can still see it. Right. Now, one of the things as I said, I'm now into mobile phone things. And mobile phones, if you're doing a demonstration live on air and you want to use your mobile phone as a second camera, you can. Okay. But it needs to be static. Okay. Now you could put your mobile phone on a tripod. But the thing is, if you're doing a cooking demonstration with your mobile phone on a tripod and you knock it, then it's going to fall over. What you need is a stand that's not going to move. And this is, he said, going back to the storeroom, this is, I'm just going to lift it up. Just give me a second, because this is like weightlifting. Okay, this is, I'm going to sit further back so you can actually see it. This is the Ipevo uplift stand down in the carousel. It's got 3 joints. Okay, so there's a joint at the bottom, it's got a joint halfway up, and it's got a joint at the top. Now, the idea is quite simple and straightforward. You put your mobile phone in there with the camera facing down, and you can then do demonstrations. The beauty of this, though, is that this is like weightlifting. This is a very solid piece of kit. In actual fact, if I just zoom over here, just to give me a second, I think possibly I don't know. No, I'm looking in vain. Okay, again, I'm taking a breather. I'm looking in vain and trying to find something, but it's not there. So I'll talk about it anyway. It is a very heavy stand, and it was recommended to me by Chris de Boven, my good friend in Belgium, and it is brilliant. Now, the other thing is that if you click the link in the down carousel, you'll find that Ipevo also do document cameras, and I've got one on my wish list. And the document camera is already, instead of the holding your mobile phone, you've got a document camera which you can then send out to a projector. Yeah. So the Ipevo range, solidly built, they do the job they were designed for. It's difficult to knock over. It's got, as I said earlier, 3 joints, and you've got to really want to move them. They lock into place effectively. So that's the Ipevo stand down in the carousel. And as I say, I'm just getting back to the camera. Okay. In fact, I can actually, if I move things around, just a minute, I'm just readjusting the set. Okay, so I'm moving that. I'm moving things. Okay. And if I go to my second camera, okay, my second camera here. Okay, I can show you the Ipevo stand. There's the Ipevo stand, and it is very solid. It's got 3 joints, and your mobile phone goes into the top, and then you can do demonstrations. And if you go to the click link in the carousel, go to Ipevo, you'll see that they do document cameras as well. And I've got one on my wish list because it's a high quality build, and the document camera would mean that I can do all sorts of things. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a teacher, but I'm not a teacher in a classroom. But it's this ideal for demonstrations, and with the camera, it's ideal for teaching materials because you can take the signal from the camera, redirect it to a projector, and therefore you can actually show textbooks on screen whilst you're in class. And I can't think anything better than that. I mean, technology today. And Ipevo are a market leader as far as their stands are concerned. Okay, now, where are we? Okay, I'm just going to pick the iPad up again. If you are enjoying this broadcast, and I hope you are, then please press the follow button. And we're now going to look at sticky notes. Your host is Stephen Healey from England. We're talking about webcams and everything to do with live broadcasting. We've just looked at the home gimbal. We've looked at the Ipevo stand. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And please unmute. Okay, now, the next thing we're going to look at, when we do these live broadcasts, after the broadcast, we get to know what people are buying from the carousel. We don't get to know who you are, but we get to know what you've done. Okay, so we never ever get your personal details. Even if you follow me, I will not get your personal details ever. Yeah, Amazon keep those. Amazon are red hot on security, and you can comment. Comments appear at the end of the show. You can follow, and I don't know who you are. I can't track you. Not going to happen. You can just quite simply give me a follow, and we will win. Because when you follow me, I'm going to be open here. When you follow me, Amazon sees that you followed me, and they like it. Okay. As far as Amazon is concerned, the more followers we have, the more likable we are, and more, well, it's just basically you're rating the broadcasters. And if you follow a broadcaster, any broadcaster, I follow over 200 broadcasters on Amazon Live, then I can basically go to the following tab at the top, and I can see everybody's broadcasts. And I use this as a resource to learn about product and to learn about how to present on camera. Okay, because we're all learning. Okay, all right, now, where should we go now? I'm going to take that off screen. Okay, thank you. So that can go. Okay, I just need a moment. I'm going to close a few tabs. Okay, I'm going to close that tab too. And hopefully I'm still going to leave this tab open. I have done. Okay, so now what I can do is I can now show you something else. Okay, now this is my second camera. Okay, this is the Obspot Tiny. Okay, and I use it as second camera because it is so versatile. I'm going to tell you about the Obspot Tiny whilst we've got it on screen. So let's have a look at the Obspot Tiny. And it's the Obspot Tiny. I'm going to take its name off because I don't need it twice. It's the Obspot Tiny PTZ webcam, $199. PTZ, pan, tilt, zoom. Pan, tilt, and zoom. Okay, PTZ. And it's the most fun I've ever had with a webcam because this is a webcam plus. Whereas the Logitech cameras do a fantastic job, C920X Bria, which is the one in the bottom right-hand corner, the Obspot Tiny can do so much more. Yeah, I'm going to show you what the Obspot Tiny can do. First thing I'm going to do is if I go to the software, then I can do this. And hopefully this will work. The next part of the demonstration, next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to be trying things which will or may, oh, we'll see. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, so I'm zooming in and I'm going to go to the left. Okay, so you can see more of the outside. I'm going to go to the right. So I can control the camera. I can pull the camera back. Okay, and there we are. There you can see my iPad. You can see the Ipevo stand. So I'm going to move my iPad. I'm going to move the Ipevo stand, which lives over here. So you can actually see me moving it because of the angle of the camera. But the thing about it is, I'm going to put that camera full screen. Okay, so I'm still here. You can still hear me. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move that camera so that we're showing a bit more of the desktop. So let's go this way. Okay, or that way. I'm still here. Okay, and you can see my Microsoft Surface Book 2. You can see the 4-way USB hub. You can see the Alexa Dot, the TP-Link Deco, my plants, my Aftershocks earbuds, all being shown to you by the Obspot Tiny PTZ cam. Now, what I'm going to do, again, is I'm actually going to zoom in. Okay, and zoom in on the desktop. And you can now see the desktop more clearly. And I'm doing this live, and it's all working. Okay, now, a bit more. Let's have a bit more. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in again so that you can actually see the desktop a bit clearly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to update that. Okay, still here. Okay, right now, the Obspot Tiny PTZ camera, and it said Z then, sorry, is an AI-powered framing and gesture control. Let's come to me, shall we? Because I can ask the Obspot to point at me. Okay, I've got 3 presets on the camera, and it can switch through 180 degrees because it's on a gimbal, and it also works through. Let's just take that off screen a minute because it's covering things up. Okay, so I'm going to take that off screen. Basically, it's gesture controlled. If you go like that, the camera will start to follow you. If you go like that, the camera will stop following you. If you go like that, the camera will zoom in. If you go like that again, the camera will zoom out. So 2 gestures. Yeah, you can control the camera, not sat at your desk, but just with your hands. The other thing is that it's got tracking software built in, and hopefully this will work. Okay, because this is the part that I love doing, and hopefully it will work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press a button on the software, and I'm going to do this. Okay, because this is where the Obspot Tiny stands out above the competition, and it's down in the carousel today. It's $199. And if you went to look for a PTZ camera with these facilities, I've got to say it will be higher than that. So if I stand up, yeah, I'm going to stand up now, and you'll notice that the Obspot Tiny is actually following me as I walk around the room. Yep. And if I come closer, you'll see my top with the SH on for Stephen Healey. The other thing you'll also notice as I come close to the camera and actually look at the camera is what the camera does is it auto adjusts to give headroom. We talked about this earlier when we were talking about the Bria camera and the C920. You need to have, when you're presenting, you need to have headroom. Now, the great thing about this camera is that I'm now stood up and I can present with more energy than when I'm sat down. So I can tell you about, what can I tell you about? Okay, this. Okay, these are, if I put it the right way up, these are Aftershokz headphones. And these are my favorite headphones ever. Okay, they are perfect for walking, running, jogging, and cycling. Absolutely perfect. So you take them out of their carrying case, which is very solid, and go in your rucksack, no problem at all. And these are meant for the great outdoors. So the first thing I should say is that these are waterproof headphones. And I'm just going to cycle along in the carousel until we actually show them in the carousel. Just a second. Okay. So the Aftershock, these are actually in the carousel now. They are over the ear headphones. Okay, so they do not go in your ear canal. So there is no irritation whatsoever from wearing Aftershokz because they don't go inside your ears. Now, the thing about not going inside your ears is that you can hear things that are going on, which means you can talk to the person next to you. You can hear the traffic. You can hear the cyclist coming up behind you. You can hear things that are happening. It pairs faultlessly. Just a minute. Hang on, don't go anywhere. It pairs faultlessly with your phone. I put my phone down somewhere. Darn. Okay. It pairs faultlessly with your phone. Okay. So there's the Aftershokz, which I recommend. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go here. And the other spot is still following me. So I'm going to go here. And whilst you're looking at the desktop and you can still hear me talking, hopefully, then I'm actually going to sit down, okay, and come back to me. Okay, I've got to say that the Obspot Tiny is an amazing camera for sitting, standing. You can actually turn the camera upside down, and you can then track somebody on stage, like a teacher or professor in front of a class. You can actually track it. And you've got to make sure you lock it. Otherwise, it's going to start moving, and we don't want that. So let me just get my chair right. Okay, and come back on screen in a second. Oh, I nearly knocked everything over then. That wouldn't be good, would it? Okay, so now I'm going to finish with the action part of this. Okay, and I'm going to, in the carousel, and I'm going to go with this. Okay, I need to set something up first, so just give me a minute. I'm going to show you something about Fitbits. Okay, something important. Okay, so that's starting, so I can come back now, and I'm going to switch to my other camera. Okay, and this is my other camera here. Okay, this is the Fitbit Inspire 2. Okay, I'm going to take it off. Now, I put the Fitbit Inspire 2 on when I get up in the morning, and I wear it until I go to bed at night. I wear it all day. It has one job, and that one job is to actually track my steps during the course of the day. The Fitbit is the key to staying fit. Now, Fitbit is actually owned by Google. Google bought them, and therefore you've got financial backing. Now, if you buy the Fitbit in the carousel, which today is $81.90, which is 18% off. So 18% off today if you click the link in the carousel. This is the start of fitness, because you pay the $81.90, then everything I'm about to show you about the Fitbit is actually free. There is no subscription with the Fitbit at all. Let me just try that again. I've probably misspelt something. Just let me refresh. I've misspelt something. Typical. Okay. I mistyped the URL. Bound to happen in live video. I enjoy live video so much, but occasionally things go wrong and you've just got to stay calm and carry on. So we're actually going to carry on. So owned by Google. I wear Fitbits all the time. I've been wearing Fitbits for 8 years. This is my 4th. And this is the way that I keep fit. Okay. We're lucky because we live close to a canal, and I can go walking on the canal, 6 miles one way, 6 miles the other, 12 miles. And that's the way I train for doing marathons, which I'll come back to in a minute. But I'm just waiting for this to be ready, and then I can show you. Just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go there. I'm going to go to my dashboard, and hopefully it's going to show on screen. So I'm now going to show you all about the Fitbit, the bit that you can't see. And I'm just waiting for it to come up, and I can share screen now. So this is free. Everything I'm about to show you is totally free with a Fitbit. So let's share screen, and I'm going to share a site with you, which is called Fitbit.com. Okay, I'm actually going to share my personal Fitbit dashboard. Okay, now this is my 4th Fitbit. Angelica's got a Fitbit as well. Looks like that. This is the standard bracelet, the standard strap. You can get designer straps as well. The lozenge in the middle stays the same. That's the bit that tracks you. If you just walk around the house, you'll do between 3/4 of a mile and a mile. A mile is 2,000 steps, roughly. Okay, 2,000 steps is 1 mile. I try and do 4 miles a day. Okay, that's my target. Weekends, not a problem. Weekdays, I'm live on Amazon for 2 hours. That's not an excuse though. Actually, today, we know Angelica and I, my partner, we're actually going to go out walking at 1:30 today. So after this broadcast, I'll be going for a walk. It's not raining, so that's good. Right, so let's go to the site, and this is what you get. Did I say that everything I'm about to show you is free? Okay, this is the Fitbit.com site. Okay, and if I go picture in picture, we don't want that camera. Okay, we just want this. Okay, this is the Fitbit.com site. Now, the first thing you notice is top left is community. Let me just put that on full screen for a second. Is community. And when you go to Fitbit, and the first thing you do, of course, is to register your device, okay, to get the warranty. So you get the warranty. Then you join the community. Now, there is a community on Fitbit of people who want to get fit and stay fit. And they're all of the same mind, and they all use Fitbits. And when you join that community, you become part of the Fitbit community. Now, one of the problems with exercising frequently is motivation. I'm going to say motivation can be a problem. If you are a member of Fitbit.com and you join the community, you can take part in 2 weekly challenges, which are free. The first is a 5-day challenge, which is Monday through Friday, so a weekday challenge. And the second is a weekend challenge, 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And the idea is, it's the person who does the most steps. And you cheer. If I go out for a walk and I'm in the challenge and I walk a mile, people will cheer me. if I walk 3 miles, people will cheer me even more. And the idea is that on the weekday and the weekend challenge, you've got a ladder. And obviously, a lot of people want to be at the top of the ladder and they don't want to be at the bottom. I want to be in the middle. Okay, I'm in the middle of the ladder. I'm happy with that. It means I'm exercising, but I get the motivation from people actually cheering me on. Yeah, because the Fitbit site, once you signed up, is actually your friends can see your steps if you wish, not the world, your friends. Okay, so you make connections with people and you've got a community of people who actually cheer you on. So that basically is the motivation. It's people actually barracking for you, people who want you to win. Okay, the next thing, if you wear your Fitbit, it will monitor. If you wear your Fitbit to bed, it will monitor your sleeping pattern. And if you wear your Fitbit for 4 nights, then it will give you a recommended program to improve your sleeping pattern. And the advice is good. Okay, now the next thing it says is the maximum number of steps that you've actually done. Now, I've done 60,000 steps in a day, 2,000 steps in a mile. So I've actually walked 30 miles in a day. And for walking 30 miles in a day, I got this medal. In fact, I got 7 of these medals over there. And this is the only chance I get to wear it, really. You wear it at the end of the race and then you forget it. This is a medal for actually walking from Avebury to Stonehenge, 26 miles, 385 yards, which is roughly 53,000 steps. Yeah. But I did a few more on that day because you've got to wake up, you've got to go to bed, you've got to move. So in that day, when I did the marathon, one of my 7 walking marathons, I would never run it. I can walk it. I did 60,000 steps in a day. Also on Fitbit, this is all free. You can record your weight. And if you want to track your weight on Fitbit, you can. You can also record for free a food diary. So you've got Fitbit measuring how many calories you've burnt, and you've got the food diary telling you how many calories you've eaten, your intake of calories. Okay, now the Fitbit, this Fitbit, the HR Inspire 2, down in the carousel, measures your daily steps. But on the website, you get even more information. And you can see I've been walking every day. And I'm going to go to see more. And basically, the Fitbit, I press see more, yeah, tells you how many. You can see I went for a walk at 11 o'clock this morning. I've done a few steps this afternoon. You can see how many steps I've done each day, each month. But the one that's important to me is this one. So I did 74 miles in the last month. Is this one. I have walked 831 miles in a year. And it's measuring my steps and telling me how well I'm doing in terms of getting fit, staying fit. The Fitbit is quite simply the path to staying fit. Walking is one of the simplest exercises we can do, and you can win a medal. Okay, this has been Stephen. Let's just go here and I can explain. If I go here. Yep. Nope, not that. I don't want a countdown timer. Okay. Your host today has been Stephen Healey from England. We've been talking about webcams and everything in the carousel. We've talked about that. We've looked at the home, gimbal and mobile video. I want to say a big thank you for actually watching me live today. I'm back again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern. I look forward to your company. If you enjoyed watching today, do press the follow button. And if you do come back and see me, you already know me, just say hello. Okay. And when you're watching a live broadcast, me or not, just unmute and then you can actually listen to it. It's been my pleasure to actually broadcast live on Amazon Live today. I hope I've helped you in some way today. See you again tomorrow. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll be back again soon. Bye for now. Oh, I'm cooking. What am I cooking tonight? I'm chefing. I'm cooking. I've got to remember what I'm cooking. I know it involves sauce. I know it involves pasta. I know it involves mushrooms and bacon. What am I cooking? Pasta, sauce, mushrooms, and bacon. I'll tell you tomorrow. I'll also tell you whether Angelica liked it or not. Bye.